Welcome back to another edition of the Purple Rain Podcast. Welcome back to episode 202 of the Purple Rain Podcast, the Tyler Huntley episode, the Jimmy Clausen episode, Tyrod Taylor episode, and the Anthony Wright episode.
Man, shout out to Tyrod Taylor, man. Been doing it for so long.
And he has so many more years left in him as well. Like, that's how you become just a smart NFL player right there. You play good, but not good enough. You're a backup. Keep getting that bread. Barely playing, protecting your body. Love to see it. Yeah. But thank you all for coming through this episode. You can follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. Follow this guy on Instagram, on Twitter at Sutton Def. You can follow me on Instagram at simplyas10.prod and on Twitter at simplyas10. And most importantly, our sponsor, Manscaped. You know, there's going to be a UFC event on Saturday, 2 p.m. Yep. And I can guarantee you this, when you're watching it, if you are watching it, you're going to see Manscaped in the ring. All right? Now, if you're like, oh, what is that? Well, go on their website. You want to get, ball deodorant. You want to get the lawnmower. If you want to get the bag, I'm just lost the name of it. Yeah.
The shed.
The shed, that's what it is. The shed.
Yeah.
My favorite. If you want to get the shed, all right, go in there. Use code PRP, 20% off your whole order and free shipping. It's really the kicker.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself, man. Honestly. Got my guy K-Dog in the house per usual. Says, let's get straight to it, right? Smash that damn like button. 50 likes or them damn kids ain't eating. Period. Cheers. Simple as that. Know what I mean? Cheers to that, right? So we're going to do our 5 seconds of silence, right? Okay. Give you an opportunity to hit that like button. If you're new, maybe hit the subscribe button. Ready and go. All right. So hopefully by now you've liked the video. If you did not, consider it. Perhaps it would help us out a ton. Wouldn't hurt you at all, but we'd appreciate it. We'd appreciate it. But we're here to talk some ball tonight. Ball talk brought to you by Manscaped. We're going to go ahead and get right into it, shall we? I think everybody's ready. All right. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Actually, you know what? Real quick. Gotta bring up who's in the live chat.
Oh, yes.
Gotta bring up who's in the live chat. Chike is here. What's going on, Chike? It's Lions Week. You are absolutely right about that. I'm pumped to talk about it. Dre says, what's up, Purple Rain Gang? Appreciate you for coming through. Darius, the official. What's up, man? Rico is in the house. I see Gary Balsters in there. Says, what's up, my skull mates? I don't know if you thought this was a Vikings pod. It's not a Vikings pod. We respect the Vikings. We did a collab with the Vikings pod before, but
Justin Jefferson is one of my favorite players.
We welcome all fans.
If y'all want to slide the Neil Hunter over, I'll take that as well.
Facts. Hey, our guy Gary said he just subscribed.
Hey, but listen, we are playing a rival there, so maybe you want to come and get a little bit of behind enemy lines, root for us against the enemy. I get it.
Yeah, hit us up. Okay, so look, man, it is Lions Week, like our guy Chike said, and we have to talk about it. I mean, because this is going to be definitely the Ravens' biggest test yet. I know you guys can see it in the title right now. Yes, this is the Ravens' biggest test so far this season. So let's go ahead and kick it off with the I word report, aka the health report. You guys know we don't like to say the I word on the show. Superstitious. Whatever. Let me go ahead and pull it up here. The I word report for the Ravens. Alex, take us away.
There you go. So obviously, not practicing as we expected. That'd be a Marcus Williams hamstring. It's just a hamstring / just arm, I guess, left arm. He's not going to play this week. I think it's probably the best he doesn't play for a couple of weeks. Get that arm healed up and get the hamstring healed up. Brent Urban limited. That's good to see. He's probably on track to play. Kevon Seymour ankle has not practiced the past 2 days. I wouldn't expect to see him suit up. A special teams player, but we can fill in for him. This is a big one. Odafe Owe. Every single training camp, he's like the Lawrence Taylor in training camp. He's back to practicing. That's going to be good to see. And then Malik
Yeah.
Harrison is full as well. Ronald Darby sick today, didn't practice. Nothing to worry about. He'll be back. And then Jadeveon Clowney is a full participant. And boy, oh boy, we're getting healthier, I should say. And it just makes me happy.
Yeah, I definitely agree. First of all, with the Marcus Williams point, definitely think he needs to sit out for at least a couple of weeks. Rehab that pec, because playing with one arm is more makes you more of a liability than an asset at the end of the day. Ronald Darby, like you said, not really too concerned with the illness. He should probably play. Odafe Owe, though, is another one that kind of piques my interest as well. We had Jadeveon Clowney this week, kind of saying like, I'm tired of getting chip blocked. You know what I mean? I want more freedom on my side. So yeah, I can't wait until Odafe Owe gets back in. It's funny that you make the comparison with LSU to Odafe Owe. Like in training camp, he's all over the place. He looks like a Hall of Famer in training camp every single season. Have kind of yet to see the kind of game wrecking ability in the games, right? But there's a lot of other things that Odafe Owe brings to the table, like setting the edge. I think he tackles pretty well. I mean, he closes out pretty well too. He's a fast player for his size, especially. So it'll definitely be good to get him back. But I mean, the pass rush has already been looking good, though. What are we like, top two
Tied,
sacks?
tied for
Top,
the
yeah,
lead in
top two and
sacks.
not two. Yeah,
But like you look at it, and I think as real Raven fans, I'm gonna classify us as we know this isn't a top tier pass rush.
right,
Personally, this isn't a pass rush that'll win you a game. It got a couple of sacks last week because Malik Willis is in. He's a young quarterback. They didn't know what to do, but you throw this up against, give me your best team in the AFC. They're probably going to get maybe 1 or 2 sacks, and in crunch time, they're probably going to get picked apart. It's
right.
Mike McDonald being such a good defensive coordinator, scheming these guys up, scheming guys, to get these sacks like a Patrick Queen, like, we've seen Roquan Smith. How mad at BK last week was feasting. That price is going up for number 92, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's, I would really like if we had another guy there that leads us in sacks. We're all around the place, 3, 2.5, 2.5, 1.5, 2. Like, I want that guy with 8, 9, 10, and that's what we're missing.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess we can go ahead and get into the Lions IWard report for this week. What's going on with that?
So, guard Jonah Jackson has not practiced the past 2 days. Dave Montgomery has not practiced either. He's out. He's not going to play. This one is something I have my eyes on. Defensive back Brian Branch has been limited the past 2 days with that ankle. Definitely going to keep my eyes on that. Teddy Bridgewater limited today. Jahmyr Gibbs limited as well. Sam Laporta, their stud tight end, has been limited these past 2 days. And their backup tight end, James Mitchell, has been limited as well. Defensive lineman Josh Pascal, limited. Craig Reynolds, running back, limited. And their center, now full. They're healthy. They're getting healthier for the most part. Not having Montgomery is a big blow for them because he's kind of just been a machine for them. Right. Looking like Jahmyr Gibbs and Brian Branch might play this week, which does not bode well for us because they are 2 rookie studs. But it's going to be a good one on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Definitely going to be one of those, I think, war of attrition type games, especially in the second half. The Ravens have been starting really, really fast this year, just kind of flying out of the gate and then kind of falling flat towards the end of the game. So, I mean, the trajectory of this one, and we'll get into it a little bit more in detail when we talk about our score predictions, but the trajectory of this game, I would expect it to be kind of similar to what we've seen in prior weeks. But that is interesting to know that both teams are relatively healthy, but the Ravens, and you can rarely say this, but the Ravens are actually the healthier team, dare I say, right?
Right. And we're only missing an all-pro safety, that's
right.
But we have a guy in Geno Stone who is the number 2 rated safety in the league right now behind him, so that doesn't hurt at all.
Yeah. I mean, Geno Stone's been balling, man. I mean, 3 picks already on the season.
And to think that the Ravens let him go twice, that really irks me. In 2020, we drafted him in the 7th round when he was a 2nd round graded safety out of Iowa. I'll never forget this. And then we let him go. I think the Texans picked him up, played a game, got waived. That weird 2020 year. Comes back to the Ravens, plays on special teams primarily. And then I believe he let him go this year and he came back. You got to keep him now. He's so good. He's so freaking good. Your mic's muted.
Yeah, my laptop was about to die. I guess like when that happened, it automatically muted my mic. I don't know, weird stuff. But yeah, I mean, Geno Stone. Hopefully, he can continue being the opportunist that he's been this year. You know, kind of listening to him after the games where he's had these big plays, he's always just kind of saying like, I was just kind of in the right place at the right time. It's like, yes, Geno, continue being in the right place at the right time. Back up these guys like Kyle Hamilton and you know, Marlon Humphrey and your other DBs. Man, if he can continue what he's been doing, this defense is only going to continue to trend upward. So,
I mean, I can give you a hot take right now. I don't know if you're ready for how hot it is.
let's get it.
I was looking at how many free agents the Ravens have next year. I unfortunately I don't want this to happen, but I think Marcus Williams could be a cap casualty. I'm not sitting here and like joking with you. The way Geno's been playing, you can get him for cheaper. And you look at Marcus Williams the past 2 years, availability is, you know, the biggest ability hasn't been available. Yeah. We're gonna have to start playing cap gymnastics here soon in the coming years, especially with our quarterback under contract. You know, PQ is a free agent, Matabike is a free agent, Geno Stone's a free agent.
Yeah.
A lot of guys got 50-year options to talk about. It's something that could happen. I don't want it to happen, but I was just, you know, sitting down and thinking about like, man, like that really could be a possibility.
Well, it really depends on whether or not Geno Stone comes on strong in the second half of the season, I would say. Not Geno Stone, but Marcus Williams, I'm sorry. Yeah. Marcus Williams, if he can come on strong in the second half of the season and really, you know, bounce back from that hurt pec that he has, then I think that the Ravens would probably think twice about letting him walk, you know, in the offseason. Especially if we do make the postseason and he's making plays in the postseason. I mean, let him have a pick in the playoffs. Right. That will bode very well for his argument to stay on this team and get paid. So we'll see. We'll see. But we're going to go ahead and get into our preview slides here. You guys know what we do here, right? So we break down the stats from each team through the most current week. So you guys can see here the Ravens passing yards per game, 209. Ravens rushing yards per game, 145. Passing yards allowed, it's going to be 198. Rushing yards allowed a game, only 98 rushing yards. Points per game, 22.2, which is ranked 15th in the league. So kind of middle of the pack there. And then points per game allowed, only 15, which is ranked 4th in the league. So, I mean, it's nothing new from the Ravens on our end, right? So it's just really good defense, average offense, right? And if we look over at the Lions side of the football here, 270 passing yards a game, 124 rushing yards a game. They allow 242 passing yards and allow 65 rushing yards a game. Points per game is going to be 28, which is not bad. That's ranked 4th in the league. That's actually really good. Points per game allowed is 18.8. That is ranked 9th in the league. So the one thing that jumps out to me, Alex, and I'm going to come to you next on this one with this question. So points per game allowed for the Ravens, they're ranked 4th in points per game allowed. The Lions are ranked 4th in points per game. So this is going to be one of those matchups where it's like an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. You know, you ever heard that saying, Alex? That's what this type of game is going to be like. And it's going to be super entertaining to watch. But in terms of keys to victory, which we'll get into in a second, you know, that's a different story. But just kind of looking at these numbers, Alex, what jumps off the screen to you here?
Has to be the rushing yards allowed per game for the Lions, 65. Yeah. That is stout. That is very, very good. And kind of from a team that defense was struggling, I'd say, against the rush last year, they've stepped up this year, man. Like, they've looked really good. And look at the Ravens rush game. It's not good. I'm going to be honest. It's really not. Like, outside of Lamar, I mean, Hill has been breaking off his runs. Gus, to me, still, he's not healthy.
He doesn't.
I don't know what it is, which is why I've seen, you know, some fans kind of dip their toe in the possibility of getting a running back, you know, trading for one, who knows? But 65, man, if we want to win this game and our running game isn't doing it, you can't have a slow second half at all. Like, this is a game where we get exposed if we come out there flat in the second half.
Yeah, I totally agree. Now, One thing that stands out to me, like you said, the rushing yards allowed per game 65. That's pretty crazy. But another thing that stands out to me is just their rushing yards. Their rushing yards a game, and I know they're kind of down on David Montgomery right now, but that's going to be another thing. I think this game is going to be like, most other games where you have good teams who can run the football. They're going to try to see who can establish the run game first and foremost, and I think we need to be that team. Despite how good their run defense might have been, up until this point, we need to be that team. And I think that comes from a Lamar Jackson. And
Yeah.
I don't want to do any crazy foreshadowing right now, but if you stick around for the Purple Rain Parlay segment, where we give you some of
Ooh.
our best picks for this weekend, I'm gonna have Lamar Jackson as a part of that,
Okay.
and his rushing. Just a fair warning. But yeah, so that's kind of a look at the numbers breakdown between these two teams up until this point in the season. Just looking at these numbers again, guys, this is going to be a very, very good game, and I think it's going to be a close game too. But going on to our next slide here, as you guys can see, this is a chart, well, a sheet with 4 charts on it, right? Bunch of information. What this is, what you're looking at right now is trench measures from every team in the NFL. So offensive line and defensive line play, and it breaks it down into 4 categories. So pass protection, pass rush, run defense, and run block. So if if you're looking at the screen right now, full screen it, kind of zoom in, we've circled the 2 teams playing this weekend. So the Lions and the Ravens. Looking at what we see here, pass rush, the Lions seem to have sort of a below average pass rush, right? So I think that this kind of goes. I think this works well for a Mark Andrews this weekend. I think that this is going to be a big weekend for Mark Andrews. I'm just going to cut to the chase here. Mark Andrews is going to be my guy. The Titans, not the Titans, but the Lions have kind of struggled against the pass, especially against tight ends in recent weeks. So I definitely expect Todd Monken to incorporate Mark Andrews, and we might even see a mixture of guys like Isaiah Likely. You never know. I mean, that good hands play at the very end of that game last week could have earned him a spot. Maybe could have earned him a couple snaps this week. Oh, we need to see more of Isaiah Likely because we know what he can do. So this might be a week that we see more tight ends, maybe especially in the red zone as well. But based off of this chart here, what do you see, Alex? Like what jumps off the screen to you about this?
So I'm looking at the pass protection for the Ravens, and it's just kind of like that grading. I mean, obviously it can always be better, but considering how poor I think Ronnie Stanley has played, is better than I expected. I'm not gonna lie. And expecting how and seeing how the line has played, how Lamar has gotten sacked, has been kind of running for his life, I wasn't expecting to be there. I'll be honest with you. That kind of surprises me. And then our pass rush as well. I mean, that's looking pretty good. The win rate, I mean, getting up there with some of those teams. I don't hate that either. It's just a lot. I'm just taking this chart in right now, a couple of these. Yeah, that's right now. Now I'm looking at the run block and the run defense. I mean, we're basically the same, just our grades are
I know,
different on the
right?
run defense. It's weird. Like, this is a really well matched up game, and outside
Yeah.
of the pass rush.
Yeah, man. This game is going to be a very, very hard one to bet on. If you're a betting man and you want to bet on who's going to win this game or who's going to cover whatever spread, it's going to be tough. I would avoid it at all costs, to be honest with you. This is probably the game for some player props, if we're being honest. But yeah, I mean, just based off of the chart here, the Lions are a damn good football team. Right, they're a damn good football team. If you look at the pass protection, that's what really jumps off the screen to me. They're one of the best teams in the league at protecting Jared Goff, and Jared Goff has felt comfortable. He's been confident. I mean, he's been very good this season, and I think that he's benefited from getting a change of scenery, being in LA and all the flashing lights and the expectations and whatnot, to kind of being reborn again, right? And going to Detroit, being with a hard-nosed, tough coach like Dan Campbell, having a lot less expectations, and he's kind of thrived in the past couple of seasons. So that offensive line is a part of that. Now go ahead.
Yeah, so I was gonna give you the Jared Goff stats over his past 17 games. All
Sure.
right. I call him Jared Goofball sometimes how he plays, but these stats are no joke. His past 17 games, he's 13-4, 4,474 passing yards, 29 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Like, that is very, very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Like, you can't take this team lightly. Lions haters, Lions, doubters. I'm not taking them lightly at all this week. They are a damn good team. They're a well-coached team. And like you said, like the change of scenery was real good for him because just kind of being in the bright lights. I mean, he made the Super Bowl, lost, got benched. People forget about that. He did get benched in LA. He's fought back and he's looked really, really good this season.
Yeah, man. I mean, man, I just can't wait. And I know I just want to say this again. You are going to that game. So make sure you represent for the Rain Gang and the Ravens flock, man. I know you will. But have fun, man, because I know that's the energy is going to be electric at M&T Bank Stadium at 1 p.m. on Sunday.
It's like it's my wife and it's my kid, my two teams. It's like, who do you pick? I'm kidding. Yeah. Obviously, I'm going with the Ravens, but like, it's just there's some guys on the lines that made videos for it too. It was pretty cool. But yeah, it's gonna be a really, really good game.
Absolutely. All right, so next let's go ahead and look at the last few matchups between these two teams. So they've only played each other 6 times, right? So not too many times. And the last time we know what happened. Justin Tucker had that historic, I think it was 66 yards, something like that. A 66-yard field goal, which is the NFL record for the longest made field goal in history. So man, this game, I mean, even in the most recent matchups we've seen, they've been good games. Now, the one right before that in 2017, definitely not as good. The Ravens are actually 5-1 against the Detroit Lions. So we'll see if they're able to keep that streak alive and continue that trend, sort of. But let's go ahead and get into our score predictions for this game, right?
I want to talk about these games real quick. I'm sorry.
Okay, sure.
Because I remember I was born in 1999. I remember every single one of these games. Like, one of my earliest football memories, don't ask me why, in 2005, when we lost, we had 21 penalties that game. I think Terrell Suggs got ejected that game. I'm pretty sure. Like, and then the 2009 game, I think Derek Mason got hit by like two defenders and was just like hobbling to the end zone. Obviously, the other 3. I mean, yeah. But I'm sorry, that 2005 game, that's like one of my earlier football memories. Sorry, I just go to nostalgia trip right there.
Alex was having flashbacks. Hell yeah,
man. Man. I love Suggs.
Yeah, 5-1 against this team is pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie. Will I let that influence my pick? No, I will not. But I'm gonna go for this game. As much as it you know what? I'm gonna go 28-25.
No 30?
No 30. The streak will continue of us not scoring 30 points. But I'm going to go 28-25 Ravens. I'm going to go 28-25 Ravens. I think that the Ravens take it home in this one late in the game. You know what I think the difference is in this game ultimately, Alex? And this is kind of like one of my keys to victory. In the red zone, which we will inevitably get there, as we have done quite easily in the past couple of seasons. We just haven't been able to score. I think that the offense is going to run more up tempo when they get to the opposing side of the field. And in the red zone, we're going to take shots at the end zone. I think that's going to be the difference. Let's get Mark Andrews one-on-one coverage, or let's get, maybe Nelson Aguilar one-on-one, which he will be, right? I mean, too many other things to worry about on this offense. And let's let somebody make a play. Let somebody make a play. I think that'll be the difference. And I think that Lamar has more than one touchdown in this game, to be quite honest with you. So I got Ravens winning 28-25, 3-point victory at home. Who do you got and what's the score?
I believe it was last year. I didn't pick against the Lions once. All right, and like I said, it's like your wife and your kid. Who do you pick? They're both about to go off, get kicked off of the mountain. Who do you save?
Right.
It's one thing about me is I do bleed black and purple, and I'm going to be bleeding black and purple. I have the Ravens in this one, right? And, I'm going to be honest. I like the Ravens in this one 31-21. All right. I do think it'll be close to the end, but I think the Ravens put together a statement drive and they get that touchdown that seals the deal.
I like that.
I need that. Kind of like we had that first down against the Bengals to seal it. I need that touchdown drive. There's 5 minutes left. You're up 24-21. You need to put 7 in there. Kind of just give yourself, a little bit of room. Give me the Ravens 31-21. I like what I heard from Monken. I like what I heard from Lamar. They're obviously taking full accountability, which I love,
Right.
which I felt like our last offensive coordinator didn't take any of, was accountability. And I'm right there with you. I think we'll make changes in the red zone, and we're back home after 3 weeks. I need all the energy. Roquan's gonna bring it. I need somebody from the offense to bring it. And I'm looking at the offense, and I'm like, well, who's gonna bring it? I think number 3 is gonna bring it. I think Odell Beckham Jr. is gonna bring it. He got that play last week to get the juices flowing. I'm not seeing a touchdown, but I think he'll have a bigger impact in the game, maybe 4 or 5 catches if he stays healthy. But yeah, give me the Ravens 31-21.
31-21 Ravens. I actually like that. I like your explanation. Late in the game, have like a statement touchdown drive. That'd be awesome. That'd be really cool to see.
I have a question for you. It's why I was like giggling my ass off. You said 28-25. Is it a Justin Tucker game-winning field goal? Is he going to break their hearts for the 3rd consecutive matchup?
Oh man. No, I don't think it's I think they fall short at 25.
Okay.
They come up short. Yeah. I don't think it's a walk-off field goal again. That would be crazy. That'd be crazy. I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but I think that
they hate him. They hate Tucker. I mean,
I would too. If I was them, I would hate Tucker too. Rico says here, Tucker for the win again. Yeah.
For the 3rd time.
Yeah, Darius, the official, says, I'll say 24-21. Ravens, I assume. Tucker saves the day at the end. Yep, absolutely. I mean, that's the hope. J Prime 235 says 27-24. Ravens. Ravens 24-21. So, I mean, you guys are thinking about a 3-point spread here, which is, that's doable. I think that's
the spread.
That's the spread. That's the spread right there. So I think that you guys are spot on with that. Hopefully, our guy Simply AS10 is in the right here and we win by 10. That'd be awesome. Or maybe, God, I just want us to score 30, bro. If we score 30 and lose, honestly, if we score 30 and lose, I won't be happy. But like, there'll be a silver lining in that. At least, like, like the offense
4 and 3, I don't like.
They fought,
but
right?
30 plus is cool. Yeah, I mean,
it's just what we need to see from the offense. We haven't seen it in over a calendar year. It's crazy. Okay.
And facing Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Josh Reynolds, like Marvin Jones, like they have some guys that they're like, I need Marlon to bring his A game, his lot. Like he needs to be the Marlon Humphrey that we know and love.
Back to form.
Had a couple of games, right? You had your ramp up period. Like it's go time. I need something here, and I think he can get the better of Amon-Ra if he is, trailing him. Kind of a smaller guy. He's not like a pick into Jamar Chase build, but yeah, man. Let's do the damn thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is our score prediction for this game. I think it's time for us to go ahead and get into some picks for the rest of the games around the league this week in the NFL. So you guys know what we got to do, right? Y'all know what we got to do. We got to pull up how we did last week, week 6. So Sutton, my pick percentage was 66% last week. Simply coming in at 53%. Got a little bit lofty with some of his picks.
I don't know who did I pick.
I think you picked the who did the Colts play?
The Colts played the Jags. I definitely picked the Jags.
Oh no,
pick the Jags.
Or no, you picked whoever the Texans beat.
The Saints.
Yeah, you picked the Saints over the
Texans. Saints piss me off. Who are the New Orleans Saints? Who are you? I don't know what team you are. I'm fucking pissed off. Like I don't know. I'm sorry, but they play tonight. I'm sorry.
I think you also picked the Falcons over the Commanders.
Yeah, because Desmond Mitter decides to have a bad game at home now, ruining Calais Campbell's 100th sack game. Hey, the same Falcons who didn't want Lamar Jackson. Fuck you, Arthur Blank. You're never gonna win a Super Bowl. Take that. 28-3, dickhead. I'm sorry.
You had to get that one off real quick.
No, I love it. The only thing that pisses me off more than that is Aaron Rodgers and the Pat McAfee show. That's a story for another day. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. I haven't seen the most recent episodes. I would assume ever since he went down with that that I word, then he's probably a little bit more insufferable.
Dude, like Aaron Rodgers is literally like he thinks he's like the greatest. Like he thinks like him doing whatever he's doing for his Achilles is like he's like listening to dolphins have sex. No, you're a creep. That's not helping your Achilles out. Like, what are you talking about?
Bro is so bored. Aaron Rodgers is one of the most like bored rich folks, like rich famous folks that I know. Because I mean, like just the things that he does, like like whale sex. I mean, and then like the ayahuasca and the dark retreats, and it's just I don't know.
No,
I don't know,
no,
man.
dude, you're weird. Oh, real quick, K Dog. I forgot to bring this up last week. He did say it. He said, "Give Calais some love." He donated $100,000 to the education fund to the 4 cities he had played in:
Oh
Jacksonville,
wow.
Arizona, Baltimore, and Atlanta. Like, how can you not love Calais Campbell? Like,
Yeah.
saying, like, good for him. Like, that's why it was the Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Yeah. I mean, and well deserved too. I mean, Calais Campbell, you can even just see it out of all of the Ravens Wired episodes that he was featured
Yeah,
in the last couple of seasons. The guys, he's just a stand-up guy, one of the best teammates you could probably ever have, and a really good man as well. You can tell
yeah,
he's a good family man, and just donating all that money to every city that he's played in. That
right.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool. So
hats off to you.
hats off for sure. All right, I think it's time for some picks now. I'm
It
gonna go
is.
ahead and cue the music.
Ooh, waiting for it. Waiting for it. There it is. There it is.
Woo!
New Orleans
It's
Saints,
time.
Jacksonville Jaguars. The stadium where the Ravens won Super Bowl 47. Rico is ready. You're bringing the vibes. I am ready. Trevor Lawrence is playing, no doubt about it, against
Mhm.
Derek Carr and the Saints, who I don't really know. Who do you like?
Give me the Jags in this one. I think this is gonna be one of those games where Trevor Lawrence, I think he has a good game through the air. I don't think he's gonna be doing a whole lot of running around, things like that, especially with the knee. But I do see a big game from guys like Calvin Ridley, So, and the Saints just don't have the juice that they really need right now. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain what the Saints are going through, but I just think that the Jags are just in a better spot right now, and they have a better quarterback. Derek Carr, I've never trusted him, but yeah, give me Trevor Lawrence and the Jags.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I was Derek Carr truther when he went to the Saints. I'm like, okay, Olave, MT, Kamara, Jamal Williams. I'm like, okay, he can maybe cook with this. At the same time, their OC is 2 packs of ass, but Derek Carr has been 3 packs of ass, to be honest. I'm rooting for him. I do like Derek Carr, the person. I think he's a great person. I need to see more from him. Not this week. Give me the Jags. This one, I think Trevor Lawrence will have a really good game.
Yeah.
Up next, those Falcons I was talking about. Going to Tampa and playing the Buccaneers. So I'll be honest, Baker Mayfield made 3 good throws. That would have been a lot closer against the Lions. He just was off his game, wearing those beautiful creamsicles. Give me a bounce back game from Baker and the Bucs.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bucs in this one too. I think that the pass protection steps up this week for Baker Mayfield. He's able to deliver some throws, and the Falcons, again, another team that really has no juice at all. Desmond Ritter, you call him Desmond Mitter. Yeah, give me the Bucs.
Next up, kind of the game, I think at 1 o'clock that you are only going to see because it's on Red Zone. The Raiders and the Bears. Justin Fields isn't playing. Jimmy Garoppolo's ruled out. This kind of is like a game that, like, I feel bad if it's on your TV because it's not going to be the best. Give me the Raiders, though. Devontae Adams, came out today saying,
He's frustrated.
He's mad. Wins and losses don't, equate to greatness. I think he was talking about. Give me the Raiders. So.
Yeah, definitely going to take the Raiders in this one. I mean, it's as simple as the Raiders having one of the best pass protecting offensive lines in the league, and the Bears really having no pass rush at all. So yeah, give me the Raiders in this one.
And next up is the Browns and the Colts. Anthony Richardson has undergone season-ending surgery. Deshaun Watson, I mean, one thing I don't like about the Colts though is like Jim Irsay kind of announcing it, bro. Like, you're like a wannabe Jerry Jones a little bit. All right, like let the man do what he has to do. Maybe that's just me not liking the Colts because I'm a Ravens fan. I don't know. Browns and Colts though. The Browns really showed me something last week against the Niners. I don't know what the hell happened. I guess I'm going to go Browns, but I really, really need the Colts to win this game to kind of humble them. But I think the Browns will win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I got the Browns in this one. Browns defense is just absolutely swarming right now. And Deshaun Watson probably going to play, right?
I think so.
Yeah. they're just they're more of a hard-nosed football team, as are most teams in the AFC North. And I think they're more physical than the Colts right now. Give me the Browns.
Yeah. I'm going to let you take the lead on this one. Commanders, Giants.
Give me the Commanders. Give me the Commanders. I think Daniel Jones is going to play, right?
I think it's looking like that.
Yeah, give me the Commanders. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I'm right there with you with the Commanders. The Giants have been very underwhelming. Modius, thank you. Yes, smash that like button. The Giants have been underwhelming. That's really all I can really say about that. Next up, the Bills and the Patriots. Do we have to say too much about this?
Bills.
Yeah, Bills. Cardinals and the Seahawks. Josh Dobbs is playing, but Kyler Murray is practicing again. That's something to keep your eye out for. I do like the Seahawks in this one at Lumen Field. Gino and the boys got to bounce back from that tough loss last week. The Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Seahawks too in this one.
Okay, like that. The Steelers and the Rams, the 4 o'clock game on Fox. I don't know who the Steelers are. Do you know who the Steelers are?
It's hard to tell because like they're hot and they're cold, they're yes and they're no. You know what I mean? Okay, you saw what they did against us, right? Like it's. I think that the whole Pickett to Pickens thing, it's there, right? Like there's something there, but they just need to, man. They need to put it all together. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's something wrong with the culture in the Steelers locker room. They don't even really feel like the Steelers right now. It's like TJ Watt and just kind of everybody else. You know, nobody else really stands out. Yeah, and he's hurt. I think with a heel or something like that. But and the Rams have been playing pretty decent football. Cooper Kupp is looking like he hasn't missed a beat. Give me the Rams. Fuck it. Give me the Rams in a close one.
They have me and you actually at running back this week. Very good 1-2 punch as well. I do trust Sean McVay. Give me the Rams in this one. With us both picking the Rams, that means somehow Matt Canada will turn into Andy Reid and Cook.
Facts.
Next up, the social media quarterback and the Chargers against the best quarterback in the league and the Chiefs. I'm going to go with the Chiefs on this one. I mean, McCole Hardman's back. I think he'll score. I think they're gonna definitely he's gonna score. The Chargers, I don't know who they are. Staley has got to go. I don't know how he hasn't gone yet. Herbert, I still think he's a quarterback. But when the lights get too bright, I'm gonna say
kind of shrinks. Not gonna lie. You know, nobody's really talking about it like that, but I mean, I'll talk about it. Shit, I don't have a problem with it. You know, Justin Herbert, I think he's a pretty damn good quarterback. You know, I saw that play on Monday where, you know, he's throwing the ball, gets batted down, he catches it, right? And then runs it for a first down. That was pretty damn cool. I was like, okay, this guy's got a little bit of juice to him, especially with a broken middle finger on his non-throwing hand, granted. But, I mean, again, when the going gets really tough, like we saw on Monday, like we saw in that playoff game last year, just haven't really seen him pull through and be the guy. But we've seen Mahomes do it pretty much every game of his career, right? Yeah. So, give me the Chiefs.
4:25 game, the Packers and the Broncos. You know what? I'm gonna do it.
No.
I'm gonna do it.
Please.
I'm gonna do it.
No.
Broncos.
I'm going with the Packers. I knew you were gonna say Broncos. Listen, man.
I don't like them at all.
Sean Payton. You know, I'm gonna make a video pretty soon on why NFL head coaches matter so much less than what they used to mean, you know, because everybody thinks that, oh, you get a Hall of Fame coach, Sean Payton, in the building, or, you know, or maybe like an Urban Meyer, right, and put him with a rookie quarterback. Shit doesn't work, man. You need the players. It's less about X's and O's, more about Jims and Joes, and everybody's heard that saying before too. You need players on the field, right? I mean, Harbaugh, we saw, was about to get fired right before Lamar Jackson came. After Tom Brady leaves, Bill Belichick about to get fired, right? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't work. Give me the Packers in this one. I think that they're a better coach team under LaFleur. Yes, I said it. You know, and I like Jordan Love, and I think Christian Watson will start to make strides. So yeah, give me the Packers.
Yeah, I think I wanted to just be different. I don't know why. I just feel like Russ has to show me something, and maybe I'm thinking this is the week it's gonna happen. With that being said, they're gonna lose like 37 to like 16. This right here, if it wasn't for this game, I'd say the Ravens Lions is a game of the week, but there's just so many storylines behind this. Sunday Night Football, they're wearing the Kelly green. Two former teammates at Alabama, one backed up the other, then one got benched for the other, then other one got benched for the other. I'm talking Dolphins, I'm talking Eagles, I'm talking Tua Tagovailoa, I'm talking Jalen Hurts. Yes.
Wow. Do you remember the game in the national championship where Jalen Hurts got benched for Tua?
Yeah.
You remember, did you watch that game?
Yeah. I used to only watch like the championship game.
The big game. Yeah, me too. That's the only reason I watched the game too. I'm not gonna lie. But that was a crazy story because Jalen Hurts goes on to be great elsewhere. And that was just, I don't know. For it to come full circle like this and for them to meet on primetime, Sunday Night Football, Eagles coming off a loss, so they're gonna be pissed off. Jalen Hurts not really performing as well as he should be performing, but hell, I mean, the guy who was counted out, right, cast out from Alabama, made something happen and went to a Super Bowl, and now he's going up against the guy who took his spot in college. It's just going to be a great game, great storylines. This is why we love the NFL. We get good primetime games for Sunday and Monday. Thursdays, not so much, right? But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a good game. I'm gonna go with the Eagles in this one. I think they're gonna be pissed off. That defensive line is gonna be fighting like hell, and they're gonna give Tua hell. So yeah, give me the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I can't remember the last time the Eagles lost a primetime game at home, I should say. The link is gonna be rocking. As much as I don't like Philly fans, they are insane. They're crazy. Give me the Eagles. Yeah, give me the Eagles in this one. It's funny you bring up Jalen Hurts. I saw a video. It's like bro speaks in Instagram captions, and it kind of like showed all of his things he says. And I do like Jalen Hurts. I really do. I don't like Nick Sirianni, though. I don't know why. I just don't like him. But Jalen Hurts, big Jalen Hurts guy right here.
Why don't you like Nick Sirianni?
Have you seen the Commanders fan who was like, oh, there's Jalen Hurts, Mr. Perfect. And then he shows Nick Sirianni. He kind of was mocking him and like, I don't know, just the way Sirianni just looks, Same thing with Sean Payton. I don't like Sean Payton the way he chooses gum. All right. I don't know.
Okay. Alex has got these weird icks about him. It's funny.
Hey, but when John Harbaugh gives me that face, though, I'm going to screenshot that and save it to my camera roll. I'm waiting for it.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't get one of those faces this week, for sure.
We could get... He did make that great face when Tucker hit the 66-yarder. He was like all shocked. I wouldn't hate, maybe an Odell one-handed catch and we get his reaction. I wouldn't hate that.
That wouldn't leave him jaw dropped. I mean, not Harbs. Harbs will be right on the field talking about, okay, we're kicking the extra point. We're not going to do.
No.
Who'd you pick though? Eagles or Dolphins? Who'd you pick?
I picked Eagles. Especially in the Kelly Greens. You can't go wrong with it. How do you feel about the Kelly Green though? The throwbacks.
I like them. I definitely like them more than the creamsicles that you love. I'll say that for sure. But I've always been kind of indifferent about the retro style jerseys. Like, I'm more of a modern type guy myself. I prefer more of the modern look. I do like the new Colts jerseys that they debuted on the timeline yesterday. I think it's, what do they call it? The Indianapolis Knights or something like that.
Yeah.
Those are some nice jerseys. They got the black helmets, dark blue, kind of like the camo kind of type print, whatever you call it. It's nice. I like those.
Okay. Final game, Niners-Vikings. Niners are banged up, going to Minnesota. Purdy, I want to see you have a bounce-back game, and a bounce-back game I think you will have. You still got Brandon Ayuk, got Curious George Kittle. Even if I think the test came back looking good for McCaffrey, I like the Niners in this one. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I think they will pull it out.
Yeah, I mean, again, the whole thing with when great teams come off of losses, they don't lose back to back. You know what I mean? 49ers are one of those teams. If you want to, put any play in your parlay this weekend, 49ers, and take their spread for sure. But yeah, 49ers, and that's our picks. Those are going to be our picks for week 7 in the NFL. Is it week 7 already?
It is. Yeah.
Jeez Louise, man. Time is just flying.
Time flies when you're having fun and when you're stressed.
It does. You're right. All All right, so those were our picks. If you want to put your picks down below in the comment section, feel free to do so. We'd appreciate that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the updated chart for our Rain Gang Fantasy League, right? So still we have our guy Mod Rush, who is Mother Tucker. That's what he's going by at the top at 5-1, 2-win streak. He's cooking. He's cooking for sure.
Wow, we have 3 5-1 cooking.
Yeah. NFL Young Boy 5-1 up there. And then Matt Canada's playbook at 5-1 as well. And I believe that's Boz, if I'm not mistaken.
So we have 2 Steeler fans at 5-1, and we have Rush holding it down for us Ravens fans. I like it.
Yeah. Man, and then you got me and Alex, right? So 5 and 6. I'm at 5, he's at 6. I'm 3. We're both 3 and 3. You know, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. We're chilling. Exactly. We're gonna make the playoffs, right?
Right.
And when we do, that's when we'll turn up.
Our guys fight hard, and who's got it better than us? Sutton.
Nobody.
Right. We're 3 and 3. We're
exactly. Fine. Yeah, we'll be all right. But that is a look or an update at the Rain Gang Fantasy League. Lots of fun competition going on in there. Okay. So now I think it's time for a segment that we've all come to know and love now, right? It's time for the Purple Rain Parlays. And this one's going to be fun. Let me go ahead and bring up my sports book really quick because I put one together for you guys. A real nice one. And you guys know I don't do, at least on air, right? At least on air. I don't do the Thursday night games that often. I'll give you a parlay for the Ravens game, because we're all Ravens fans in here, or at least the majority of us. So I have a 3-legger for you, right? And Alex, I'll go ahead and start. And you let me know. Grade this parlay for me. Let me know how likely it is to hit. Yes, 1 to 10. Okay. That'd be perfect. So I have first leg, Mark Andrews, over 53.5 receiving yards. Yeah, solid, dang. Right? Second leg, I got Lamar Jackson, 2+ passing touchdowns, which let me mention, you can get that at plus money right now because Lamar Jackson has not thrown multiple touchdown passes. I don't think at all this season.
No.
I don't think at all this season. But again,
no, Browns.
Oh, Browns game. 3. Oh, he had 2. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait, he had 3.
2.
No, yeah, 2. Yeah. But again, I was saying earlier in the episode, I think that this is going to be the game where in the red zone, the Ravens try to throw the ball to the end zone. Take more shots at the end zone in the passing game, and I think that can convert into touchdowns for Lamar. Maybe 2 of them. Maybe 1 of them goes to Andrews. Now, I didn't put Andrews as an anytime touchdown on this. If that's what you're thinking, if that's what you think, I'm going with next. No, this next one might surprise you. The last leg is going to be Jared Goff, over 243.5 passing yards. That one might surprise you.
I don't think it would, because if I have them losing by 10 points, that means he's throwing that ball, which means garbage time yards, which means, possibly prevent defense.
And they're going to break a big one to Amon-Ra St. Brown, or Sam Laporta's going to catch it and run it for 30, 40 yards, something like that. He's going to get some of those chunk plays, right? And especially if they're playing from behind, which hopefully they are, right? That means we're winning, obviously. Then yeah, he's gonna have every opportunity to get those passing yards. So I'm gonna go over one more time. Mark Andrews, over 53.5 receiving yards. Lamar Jackson, 2+ passing touchdowns. Jared Goff, over 243.5 passing yards. What do you rate that?
What's that line looking like?
That line is gonna be plus 527. That's without any boost, anything like that.
If I'm let's say I'm on my final dollars, I wouldn't hate putting that in there. If I'm going to give it, I'm going to go a 7 out of 10. I really am. I think the Lamar 2+, it really depends how Monken plays, but if you hear the way he's talking, I think we will be throwing more in the red zone, which higher probability, passing touchdowns. I like the way you're thinking with that. I really do.
Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, so go ahead and give your parlay or your picks for this weekend.
So I have a nice little play for tonight. I believe that was plus 143.
Okay.
One of my favorite players in the league right now, actually, one of my fantasy team names is Olave when you call me Big Papa. Yes, that reference, Notorious B.I.G. reference, And I'm looking at his receiving props tonight. And I'm looking, all right, Chris, what you got for me? 64.5 receiving yards. I'm taking the over. I believe he had 90-some last week. They were battling. I think they will be down most of the game. I think they will be throwing the ball. And I'm looking at his receptions. I like him getting over the 4.5 line that I saw last time I checked. Those are my two players.
5 catches. And what were the yards again? I'm sorry.
6.5.
You said 62 and a half?
64.
64 and a half. Okay. 64 and a half and 5 catches. Yeah, I could see that for sure, especially if they are playing from behind. I think that this, oh, man, you know what I think? I'll let you know later. I'll let you know later. But
Yeah.
I
You
think
could
that
play
this game,
before. You could, if you want to be safe, because like
yeah,
you say, there's always going to be a profit boost as well. You know how these
always
guys
gonna be a
roll.
boost. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I think you said like +1 something. Yeah, I think that that's a solid parlay. That's a solid
I think
parlay.
it's,
2
yeah,
legs. Yeah, I could see that happening for sure. I mean, Chris Olave, I think his target share is probably the highest on that team in the past couple of weeks, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I don't think that's a bad bet, bro. I mean, 5 catches is the only thing that might get you. He might get 4, right?
yeah.
And then because a lot of these guys, they'll have like a big play. He'll break one for like 40, 50 yards, right? So there are your yards right there, but it was only his second catch and it's
Yep.
third quarter, right? Like
Good
that's
point.
how it goes. That's how the sports betting stuff goes. But yeah, that
Very
is
cool.
going to be our Purple Rain Parlay segment. I want to see what you guys are saying here in the chat. Raven Ron says Justin Tucker
Oof.
over 1.5 field goals made. Andrews over 53.5 receiving yards, and Zay Flowers over on his receiving yards. What's his line at? Zay Flowers.
Say, I can pull it up right now. See, I love Raven Ron. Always comes through with the plays, man.
And then
Always is
Baltimore
coming.
-3. Okay. Lamar over 50 rushing yards. That's a lofty one.
58.5 is what Zay's looking at right now. Oh, Aguilar has the play. 23.5.
Oh, I'm taking that. I'm taking that.
Odell, 21.5.
Wait. What are the odds on that? On those?
-114 for Odell, -114 for Nelson.
Oh yeah. I would definitely take Nelson Aguilar. At least. You know what I mean? I might take Nelson Aguilar over Odell. You?
I think you're right. Because Nelson's going to be wide receiver 4 against their guys. And their
And
secondary has
Nelson, the burst I saw from Nelson Aguilar
talk about
versus
it.
the burst I saw from Odell Beckham Jr., it's like Nelson's a little bit up here. That speed is still there for sure, more so than what OBJ has. Yeah, love OBJ, right? Love him as a Raven, love him to death, right? But Nelson Aguilar, he's looked pretty damn good so far this season. So I like that. I like that, and I like this play from Raven Ron.
I do. You know what? I might be telling some of them, Raven Ron. I'll be honest with you.
Okay. Raven Ron also says Ravens 4+ sacks, single bet prop. That's an interesting one because the Lions have a good offensive line. So I'd be interested to know the odds on that one for sure. For sure. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get into some questions here. Go ahead and drop your questions down below in the chat right now. If you're not watching this episode 202 of the Purple Rain podcast, and you're part of the hashtag replay gang, thank you so much for joining this episode. We appreciate you just as much. Make sure you like the video. And if you're new and this is your very first time, getting introduced to Simply AS10 and myself, Sutton Def, thank you. Hello. And maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. We'd appreciate that, Like our guy K-Dog says here, can we get 3 more likes or them kids ain't eating? The kids got to eat, y'all. Kids got to eat.
Actually,
like the video.
I'll start us off actually this week.
Sure.
Unfortunately, my soccer team's playing at 12:30 on Saturday, so I'm probably not gonna be able to watch this game. But I've been consuming some college football. I will not lie to you at all. I actually got up early last week and watched the college football game day with Pat McAfee, Kirk Herbstreit, all those guys. And this week, Penn State, Ohio State, high noon. That's going to be a game and a half. You gonna watch it or?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it up until the UFC card comes on. I'll say that for sure.
See, great point.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good weekend for sports. I'll say that. Oh man, that UFC card this weekend is going to be a banger. Now, I just got myself thinking about that. It's gonna be fucking wild. But yeah, I'll definitely tune into that Ohio State and Penn State game. I mean, two of the best teams in the country. One game that I watched last weekend was the Oregon and Washington game. and I
Mhm.
got to see Michael Penix Jr. be all that in a bag of chips, to be honest with you. He's
Yeah.
going to go to the league, and he's going to be a guy. Like, he's got the toughness, you know what I mean? And he can make every throw in the book. He makes these throws with anticipation, extremely humble. He's a much better, more refined Justin Fields. And some people might look at that as like disrespect. I think he's a more refined Justin Fields, and I think we'll see that in the league next season. So, yeah, I mean, tons of good stuff coming up this weekend on the slate.
Yeah, and then obviously football Sunday as well. Now a couple of teams have bye weeks for college football. I know Maryland isn't playing this week. I don't think Colorado is either. I haven't heard much from them.
Yeah.
But yeah, enjoy.
Let's see. Questions here. This one's coming from Raven Ron. Says the Browns had a #1 defense when we beat them. So shouldn't we do the same to the Lions?
You know, I hope golf gives us some field position that the way Dorian Thompson was giving us. I think that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. Interceptions. I know Stevens got that one. Gino, how he just looks scared. Golf won't make those same mistakes. I think he'll probably throw the ball away instead of taking sacks. But like that's why I have a scoring over 30. I think we should be able to get some points on the board, though.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I don't think it's the same thing. It's kind of apples to oranges comparing the Lions and the Browns right now because, well, the Browns are in our division, so we're much more familiar with them. So kind of stats go out the window. It's kind of similar to when we played the Steelers, right? And they beat us when they really weren't supposed to. But again, at home, I do think that the Ravens pull this one out. I don't think it's going to be nearly as easy as some people might think it will be for the Ravens. But yeah, I think that the Lions will be a little bit more competitive on offense than the Browns were for sure. Okay, we have another question. This one's coming from Chike with the super chat donation, the 2-piece in the chat. We
Yes.
appreciate you for making it rain here in episode 202 of PRP. Chike says, do the Dallas Cowboys make the playoffs this year? That's an interesting question.
I think so. Dak needs to step up. They are missing Trayvon Diggs a lot. I mean, a lot. It wouldn't surprise me if they go out there and trade for a defensive back as the deadline looms. But I think they do make the playoffs. Wild card, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I could definitely see wild card too, for sure. I mean, the NFC, we just know that there's not a whole lot of teams in the NFC, and some of those teams in the NFC have been ravaged with I words, So I definitely think the Dallas Cowboys, they make it as maybe like a 6th seed, right? I don't think I don't think that they're going to be too low, but they'll definitely make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to make any noise, but they'll make it.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah. Here's another question. This one's coming from Trey Biz. What's going on, Trey? Says, what do y'all make of all the miscommunication happening with our receiving core up to this point? Big concern or not at all, or not all that concerned?
A little bit concerned. I'm not gonna lie. Just because we're now 7 weeks into the season and it's still happening, I would like to see it all fizzled out and fixed. But I guess I'm asking for too much, unfortunately. But I would like to see that this week it would be a statement win if we get that all fixed up. And I forgot to mention, but the main reason why I picked the Ravens to win is because we do play down to our competition, but we play up to it as well. The better the team, the better the Ravens play. Look at the Bengals. Like, I wasn't expecting us to win that game. I had us losing that game, and we went in there and the scoreline didn't really show it, but we dominated that game. I never felt like we were going to lose that game. I said that right after we beat them. So I think this will be the week that it all is fixed, just because it's actually a big game and we're not playing a lesser opponent, with all due respect.
Right. No, I mean, I completely agree with that there. And like I was saying on Monday's episode, the confidence of this receiving core just has to be better. I think that comes with a little bit of motivation from the quarterback. I want Lamar to kind of step up and reassure these guys, like, hey, look, like, I know Rashad Bateman, I know you had that bad play last week, you had the drops the week before that, but look, I'm still coming your way. So be ready and dominate. Be ready to dominate on every single play. Like, put that bug in those guys' ear. And I'm sure somebody's talking to Bateman like that, and Flowers and whoever else, Odell and whoever else. But yeah, that's what needs to happen. The confidence needs to be better.
Yeah.
They need to get that back. Another question here. We'll take a couple more. King Trent TV says, should the Ravens get Derrick Henry?
Definitely
I
wouldn't
like
hate
it.
it. I
Yeah,
wouldn't hate it at all.
yeah.
Price got to be right.
It
That's
just poses such a different type of threat. Like there's a whole nother element to the offense if you add in Derrick Henry. Just just something crazy to worry about, like a Derrick Henry coming up the middle at you when you know that Lamar Jackson can keep it and go around the edge. Who's stopping that?
like the way he was shut down by us last week, and then he has that one big play out the Wildcat. If he's on a better team, the game could have went a lot differently. I don't think if he's on a better team, Tannehill's not gonna. That team won't be throwing to pick that Tannehill through to Geno Stone, like we talked about. Really was the game changer at that point.
Yeah,
The price has to be right though. That's my biggest thing with the running back. I definitely would be excited if it were to happen. Having the king and the queen on the same team, that'd be pretty cool.
that'd be pretty cool. Shout out to Patrick Queen. Jabari Cruz Ellis with another super chat donation, making it rain here. We appreciate you, bro. Jabari is a Purple Rain pioneer. And he's been around for a long time. We appreciate you, bro. Says y'all picks for biggest disappointing team so far this season. A couple of weeks ago, you would have said like the Bengals, but not anymore. They're kind of heating up.
I hope our Viking fan is in here.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Vikings.
Yeah, I was expecting them to be a lot better. Expecting Kirk. I mean, Kirk, it's not really his fault sometimes, but I thought they were going to be better all around.
Right.
I mean, Broncos got to be up there.
Yeah, definitely Broncos for sure.
Pick for Sean Payton.
I'd say the Chargers too. I'd argue the Chargers.
They've had. I mean, the loss to Titans was ugly week 1.
Yeah. Like, come on now. I mean, what are they, 2-3? Yeah. Come on. I mean, the Chargers are Giants. Yeah,
they're averaging 11 or 12 points this year.
But people didn't have as high expectations for the Giants as they did for like the Chargers. People looked at the Giants like still like the little brother team. Like, oh yeah, they got a good coach and Brian Daboll, but Daniel Jones just isn't it. Everybody kind of knows that in the back of their mind. The Chargers, on the other hand, they've got Justin Herbert, who everybody is ready to anoint as one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now, which I mean, he's a very talented quarterback. Yeah, exactly. But they have not been able to get it done in terms of the wins and the losses, which is what really matters in this league. So,
I'm gonna flip this real quick. The most surprising team, honestly, for me, the Texans are up there. They've surprised me. They're 3-3 at their bye week. CJ Stroud's playing at a very high level. I don't know. Yeah, definitely Texans.
Yeah. Thank you for your super chat donation, Jabari. We appreciate that.
Yeah. Rams as well. Texans and Rams surprising me a lot.
Definitely Texans. I agree with you there. Texans, CJ Stroud playing really well. Chike, we'll go ahead and end it here with this question.
Jeez.
Said, after a third of the season, where do you think the Ravens stand as being contenders or pretenders? I believe that we are still pretenders because we have not played a complete 60-minute game yet for me. I agree. I agree with what Chike is saying here. As of right now, this very moment, this Thursday was today, the 19th of October, the Ravens are pretenders right now. Until that they can go out there, which I still have faith in them to do, so they can go out there and put together a full, complete 4 quarters of football where the offense is putting the ball in the end zone consistently, then I will call them contenders, because then I know that they can stand up tall against the 49ers of the league, against the Chiefs of the league, against the Eagles, those type of teams.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I can't agree more.
Yeah, I mean, we got to make something happen. Chike again with the super chat donation. Appreciate you, brother. Nice. Says Cowboys remaining games: Rams, Eagles, Giants, Panthers, Commanders, Seahawks, Eagles again, Dolphins, Bills, Lions, and Commanders again. Thoughts?
Definitely. Rams, Giants, Panthers. I can see them beating.
It's not a bad schedule, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because I see who are the Seahawks. We don't know who the Seahawks are right now.
The Dolphins, Bills, and Lions is a tough stretch, though.
Yeah, Eagles, Dolphins. Yeah, that's hard.
The Eagles, yeah.
If they split with the Eagles, I mean, if they can win that game, if they win this week and the game against the Rams and the Eagles, they'll be in a really good spot.
But yeah, they're gonna have to rely on winning divisional games for sure.
NFC is just so weak.
It is. they're gonna have to pick up that, like you said, they're gonna have to pick up that game against the Seahawks for sure. Gonna have to beat up on the
Yeah.
Panthers. They can't afford to lose any games that they're supposed to win. Basically,
If they split with the Eagles and Commanders, and then I think they'll be in a good spot. I think they can beat the Rams, Giants, Panthers, Seahawks, and I think they can snag one of those bigger games at the end as well.
Yeah. Okay. Gonna go ahead and leave it there for the question segment and this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Again, thank you guys so much for coming through so consistently. We appreciate you guys. Every member of the Rain Gang, the Replay Gang, thank you so much for all the support you've given us over the years. This has been episode 202 of the Purple Rain podcast. Again, you can follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain podcast, like you see down below. You can follow me on Twitter or on Instagram at Sutton Def. You can follow this guy over here on Twitter at SimplyAS10 and on Instagram at simplyas10.prod. And like we led with on this episode, manscaped.com. The gift giving season is right around the corner. As a matter of fact, it's pretty much here. Some people are starting their Christmas shopping early, which is what you should do. Let's be upstanding citizens and adults here, guys. Let's go ahead and get our Christmas shopping out of the way. You can go on manscaped.com, get a loved one or yourself anything off the website. You can save yourself 20% off by using our code PRP. Like I said, you get 20% off plus free international shipping. Again, thank you so much for coming out to this episode. My name is Sutton Def, and I'm gonna let my guy Alex take us out.
Yeah, let's not maul our neighbor on Black Friday, please. Thanks. Yeah. As always, thank you for spending the last hour and 6 minutes with us. We truly do appreciate it. As always, stay positive, test negative.
Yeah, and never ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God. It's been episode 202 of the Purple Rain